Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Accidental Beauty. If you're new, welcome. My name is Laura. I'm a self-taught makeup enthusiast. I mainly post makeup related content, and I'm just a lover of all bright things. My channel is predominantly, it's about 95% vegan and cruelty free. If it's not, I usually mention it either in the video or in the description box below. Today, I'm going to be doing a hopefully not too long video. It's going to be a very thorough review and swatch video of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dream Glow Kit. You can't really see the front because it's so holographic. This is what it looks like. It's a 6-pan, very glittery, ethereal highlighting palette. I'm going to be doing swatches on my arm as well as on my face. So I'm going to be doing 6 different looks and using 1 shade per look to show you what it looks like kind of in like real time, and then I've got my thoughts at the end. So if you want to hear my very thorough review of this product, then please keep on watching. Really excited. Unfortunately, it came broken, so I had to repress, I think, all of these except for like 1 or 2 shades, can't remember. So today I am going to use the shade Wish. I've used this formula before. I think I'm just going to use a brush, and then if it doesn't show up like bright enough, then I will just use my fingers. That is beautiful. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but you can definitely see it in person. Oh my god, look at that glow. I thought it would be super glittery, but it's really not. And even though I have a lot of texture, I feel like it draws attention to it, but not as much as I thought. You know what? I haven't done my eye makeup yet, but I'm gonna highlight my brow bone because why not? It's probably a mistake because my eyebrow hairs are in the way, but oh well. Love that. So pretty. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish off the rest of my face. All right, so I'm back. This is, so I threw on a 2-tone wig just to go with my pastel colored shirt. I thought it'd be just kind of fun. This is shade number 1, Wish. God, this is just such a stunning color. I was worried because all the shades swatch very glittery, but you can't see glitter particles at all, which is actually really nice. I also have the Aurora Glow Kit, and I feel like that one you can definitely see the glitter, but this one just blends into the skin so nicely, and it's just such a beautiful shade. This one looks like it would be universally flattering on all skin tones. I feel like this would work from the lightest skin to the darkest skin. Oh my god, it's just so beautiful. I love this so much. So I'm gonna dip into the second shade, which is called Unicorn. Oh my god, this is like such a beautiful iridescent purpley pink. That is stunning. This is look number 2. So let's just move on to look number 3. And I'm gonna dip into the 3rd shade of the glow kit, which is called Magic. Oops, make sure that your brush is clean. Okay, really weird. It shows up green in the pan, but it's actually more of a purpley highlight. That is so bizarre. Very glittery. Okay, so this is look number 2. I was hoping this one would turn out a bit more green because I was planning to do this green grungy eye look. I was hoping I could kind of match my highlighter to it. Fortunately, but unfortunately, it's a different color. The color that it is absolutely stunning. It's like a sort of purpley pink duochrome shift magic situation that's happening. I do think that it's very similar to the second shade Unicorn. I wish there was a little bit more diversity in the shades, for lack of a better word, because I feel like this one is just very similar to the last one. And it's weird because in the pan and even on my finger it looked green, but for some reason it showed up pink. I don't know why. Maybe it's just one of those shades that changes depending on whether it's warm or cool light. Not 100% sure. But other than that, I really like it. It's such a stunning highlight. I definitely see myself using this on a regular basis. Today we're going to dip into the fourth shade in the Dream palette. It's called Ethereal. It's like a really beautiful pinky, purpley duochrome moment. Ignore my hair right now. I'm trying out a heatless curling method. Oh my god, this is stunning. This is ridiculous. Oh my god. Can you guys see that? This is stunning. I really don't think this goes with my contour situation today. I'm gonna see if I can tone it down a little bit. Oh, this highlight is ridiculous. All right, let's highlight my nose. Oh, that is stunning. All right, and this is look number 4. Absolutely loved it. It added an extra dimension to this look. I just love how it interacts with the blush, with my hair, with what's going on in my eyes, just everything. It works so seamlessly. Pigmentation is definitely there. Definitely did not lose its shine throughout the day, so I love that. All right, so this is going to be shade number 5, which is Sunshine. It's this beautiful yellow. Okay, is it just me or are all of them showing up pink? That definitely looks pink to me. I don't know. Okay, why are these literally all showing up pink? I'm gonna turn down the lights. All right, so this is going to be the 6th and final shade. So we're going to use the shade Regal. These all look the same. I'm very confused. Okay, I'm going to swatch these because I'm just super confused. All of these look so pretty, but you know what my problem is? I think all of these have a pink shift, and when the light hits them a certain way, they just all look like the same color, which is really unfortunate because I love the colors that are in the pans, and I wish they swatched and performed the way that they look. I watched through the footage, and here are my final thoughts on all 6 shades, on the palette as a whole. Here we go. So I've got all 6 shades swatched in my hand over here, and I've also got notes just off the corner of the screen here on my laptop, so I will be kind of looking back and forth, just so you know. Also, just so you know, the look that I'm wearing on my eyes today, which I don't know if you can even see because my bangs are obscuring my eyes, but this is for another video. This is for the Juvia's Place Tribe palette. This is one of the looks that I did. I just tried out the palette, so if you want to see that video, I'm going to link it over here when it goes live. Okay, so let's take a look at all 6 shades. Like, what is this palette? All the shades look different in person than they do on camera. Actually, no, that's not true. Most of the shades look different in person compared to on camera. I think the only ones that looked the same were like Wish, Unicorn, and Ethereal. The other ones don't look anything like they do in the pan. They also don't swatch on the face that well. Like they don't look like how they do in the pan, and I I just feel like ABH is just so off the mark here, and they've been off the mark for other reasons recently, but it's just like for a brand that's known for having such high quality pigmented products, I feel like this palette really falls short of that. I had such high expectations just because I've used one of their other glow kits and I actually really do enjoy it. And this one is just, it's fine. It's not something that I would reach for. This just happens to be the only highlighting palette that I have with me. We are staying at my in-laws right now, so I didn't bring my whole makeup collection, obviously. I brought a lot of it, but not all of it. So this is just what I happened to bring with me because I did want to try it out, but this definitely isn't my first choice of a highlighter or highlighting palette. I will say though, this I think performs the best on little to no makeup. I have gotten so many compliments when I use this just on my bare skin, and I don't know if it's because it reacts with like the oils in my skin and whatever other moisturizers or sunscreen that I'm wearing. Like I'm not 100% sure, but it does look very, very pretty on like no makeup, especially in natural sunlight. So I will give it points there, but okay, let's just take a look at these shades. Yeah, so they all swatch fairly close to how they appear in the pan, but on camera they don't show up that way. And like, I don't know if it's the undertones of the glitters and my ring light just kind of washing everything out and making them kind of more cool toned. I've never experienced such a discrepancy between shades as they appear in person and as they appear on camera. I suspect it has something to do with the colors and undertones of the glitters. And I will say, like, all the shades are quite glittery. You can kind of smooth them out a little bit so they're not quite as like chunky, because sometimes they do tend to emphasize texture on your face. Although the longer it sits on your skin, the glitters sort of absorb and they look a little less chunky. So that's why I feel like wearing it on bare skin might be the most beneficial for this type of formula. Bare skin or like very, very light coverage makeup, like a tinted moisturizer or like just a very, very light coverage foundation, BB cream, that type of thing. All right, so let's break it down by shade. I don't have a whole lot of comments per shade because, I mean, my comments are kind of all the same, but let's just break it down anyways. So shade number 1, which is Wish. My palette is very, very dirty, so please excuse that. The way it's swatched on the face seemed to decently match the way that it appears in the pan. This one is probably the most accurate between how it looks in the pan and how it looks on your face. And it is one of my favorite shades in the palette because of that, just because I know exactly what I'm going to get when I dip my brush in, and I don't have to think like, okay, what undertones are in this shade? How is it actually going to look on my face? I know exactly what I see is what I get. So for that reason, I give it a 5 out of 5. I don't really have any other complaints about it. All right, next shade, shade number 2, which is Unicorn. So this one looks pretty close on the face to how it appears in the pan. I will note that it doesn't seem quite as pigmented, like it feels a little bit sheerer compared to the first shade, so I don't particularly love that. For that reason, I'd give it a 4.75 out of 5, because otherwise it's an absolutely beautiful highlighter. Shade number 3 isn't even close to what appears in the pan. It doesn't even swatch all that green. I was really excited to have a green highlighter in my collection because they are pretty hard to find. I only can name maybe a handful of brands that actually do a green highlighter, and even then I don't know if those were limited edition products. So I was pretty disappointed. I would have liked a green highlighter in that shade, in that tonal range, to actually be green, to actually show up green. There is a green shade in the Aurora Glow Kit, but this one is a slightly different green, and I was sort of just hoping to have options in my collection. So unfortunately, it kind of swatches more like, almost like it's got like a white base, or if it does have a green base, it's like a very, very, very light green. So light that it's almost white. So it's a pretty shade, it's just not a green highlighter. This one feels particularly glittery compared to the other two. I mean, all 6 shades are very glittery, but this one seemed particularly glittery. And while I do like glitter, I don't know how much I love glitter in highlighters, especially because, again, as I mentioned, it can show texture. I don't know, I like it for certain effects. I just don't know if I love the idea of like a full glittery highlighting palette. So I would give the shade a 4 out of 5. All right, shade number 4 is Ethereal. This one shows up pretty close to the pan. On camera, it looks exactly like the shade in the pan. In person, it's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more sheer. This one, I feel like it's a white base with a purple reflect, and I would have just preferred a purple base with a white reflect. So it's not as pigmented as, like, I feel like even shade number 2, Unicorn, I feel like that one's even more pigmented. So this one, I wish it was just, it had a bit more pigment, but it does swatch beautifully on the face. So for that reason, it's my favorite shade. I'd say Ethereal and Unicorn, the purple and the pink, I think are probably 2 of my favorite shades in the palette. So I'd probably give this 4.5 out of 5. Okay, shade number 5. This one's called Sunshine. It's so bizarre because in real life, when I swatch it, it looks pretty close to the pan. And then when I swatch it on my face, it's not even close. And that's really disappointing because I would have loved a yellow highlighter. I think this is such a pretty shade and would have made such a beautiful blinding highlight. And I'm just kind of upset that it doesn't show up that way. So I think, I mean, the pigmentation is definitely there. In person, it kind of looks pretty similar to the first shade, Wish. Although there is a tiny bit of that yellow. I just put a little bit over here, and I put a little bit of Ethereal just to kind of like test them and like refresh my memory. So Sunshine, it's definitely pigmented. I think I give it a 4.5 out of 5 because it is a stunning highlight on its own. It's not too glittery. I just wish more of those yellow tones would show through. And then the final shade, this one is called Regal. This one isn't even close to how it looks in the pan. It does swatch a little reddish. I would have loved actually to have like sort of a pinky red highlight. I think that's such a unique color. It looks really cool. Like when you look at all 6 shades together, they do look really unique, and I would have loved to have seen that uniqueness show through in person when you're actually applying them on your face. Back to the last shade, Regal, like it doesn't even look close to how it appears. Like I wish there was more pigment in it or something. Like I definitely do like it, so I give it a 4 out of 5 because I had really high hopes for that shade and it disappointed. So as I mentioned, I'm not sure if the glitter or like the color base of these shades has something to do with how they appear. I suspect it does because they do look different in different lighting. So I just wish there was more pigment in the base itself rather than having color shifts or colored like sparkles gives it the color, because like when I look at any palette, but like when I look at these shades, like I expect to get what I see, and when I don't, I'm annoyed about it. Like the color shifts is cool. Like don't get me wrong, I love color shifts. I just want there to be substance, because like to me this feels like cheap makeup. Like when it doesn't apply on your face the way that it looks in the pans, like to me that feels cheap. That sounds like you're not investing enough into the pigment and the quality, and it's just really disappointing coming from a brand like this. Eventually, like all the shades kind of tend to look the same. Like I'm wearing all 6 of them on my face, like on my cheekbones today, and I doubt you could even tell because they all just end up looking kind of pinky purpley, and only 2 of the shades actually have those shifts. So it's the same criticism that I had with the e.l.f. blush palette, which you can watch my video over here. And that's if I wanted to buy a palette where all the shades were kind of indistinguishable from one another, where all the shades kind of ended up looking the same, then I would have just bought like 1 to 2 shades of highlighter or blush. Why do I need 6 shades that look pretty much identical on the face? It kind of seems like a waste of time, money, space. As I mentioned, like I expect to see 6 unique shades, and I'm disappointed that I don't see that. I'm also not a huge fan of the glitter. Like I do love glitter, as I mentioned, but I feel like the glitter kind of shears out the pigmentation of the product, and I feel like because of that effect, ABH was able to use less pigment, therefore saving money producing or manufacturing these products. I love the effect that these highlighters have overall. Like, I mean, it does look very pretty, very blinding, especially in natural lighting or in very low light, but I wish the pigment matched other ABH products. So overall, I'd probably give this palette a 4 out of 5. Thinking about it overall, I'm not super thrilled. This palette was gifted to me, if I didn't mention that earlier. And if it hadn't been gifted to me, I don't think I would have bought this on my own, because especially with what I know about it now, I I don't need it. I don't think you need it. I don't know if they're even making this anymore, to be honest. But if they are, I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you like glittery highlighter where all the shades kind of look like a whitish pinkish. If that's your thing, then sure, go for it. But I don't love it and I really don't recommend it. So that's a bit of a bummer. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of this palette, if you've tried it before. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe like I have one that was kind of messed up. I did have to repress almost all the shades, so I don't know if some of the colors kind of mixed into each other, but I have been using this for a while and the shades still look the same. So let me know what you guys think. Also, don't forget to follow me on my other social media accounts if you like the type of looks that I do here. If you like what I post here, you'll probably like what I post there. It would really just help me out to grow my overall presence on social media, which is what I'm trying to do, so I would really appreciate it. Also, I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn on notifications, and that way you'll get updated every time I post a new video. And I'll see you guys next time.